Hey guys, happy Friday, May 19th. We are here for cancelthisshow.com. We say welcome in to the podcast. I'm Vic Faust. Lizzie Sparks already in studio running those chat rooms, those chat boards. Pro Joe making sure that we look and sound as good as we can. We say good morning to you, Karen. It is a Friday. Hope everybody's hanging in there, doing the best that they can with everything that's going on. I was just reading some headlines before we get into the show today. It is a free-for-all paranormal conspiracy theory Friday. We got a major topic today we'll talk about in just a second. Yeah, we're just looking at some headlines today. If you guys want to talk about anything, go ahead. And of course, we can do that as we finish up our show prep for today. Anything new going on with you today, Lizzie?
Well, yes, my baby is getting ready to graduate from 8th grade. So she had her picture taken on the front lawn in front of the sign, and she's our youngest of 5. So, it's bittersweet. It's great, but it's, kind of sad too.
Wait till it's high school. My senior son, as you've been through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've been through this already. I've been through it with one child.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter which child it is. It's, it's bittersweet either time.
It marks a notch in the timeline.
It absolutely. That's a good way to put it, for sure.
Missouri Governor Mike Parsons is going to announce a new St. Louis Circuit Attorney today. I'm curious. I'm just glad that in St. Louis she stepped down, so there weren't any massive protest or reason that it was her idea to quit. Did you hear that attacks on ATMs are on the rise as well?
Yes, I have. That's crazy. There's attacks on everything.
You know
literally
what?
Everything.
It's another reason to take away cash.
You're right. You're right.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's what they're going to say. And you almost wonder, okay, are they, pushing people to do that so they can take the cash away? There's just so much going on.
Maybe.
So much going on. Whole bunch of people coming in this Friday. Here they are. Hi, everybody.
What do you? Oh, on the
chat line. Some people. There's Randy. Haven't seen you this early on here. That's awesome. And I see Kim on the chat line. I have known her for years and years and years. She used to be the morning opener of my mom's childcare center off of Mexico Road in St. Peters, Missouri. And she is a mama of both a military young man and a firefighter. She
Awesome.
is a hero mama.
Hi, Tabitha. How are you?
Oh, good morning. I thought you guys were on.
No, yeah, we are on air.
It's the show before the show.
Show before the show. I'm not here early enough to be on the show before the show.
Are you all right?
You guys are just, if you're on the show, you're like not talking. You're both on your phone.
Oh, Michelle went up. Yeah, we're just preparing. We're getting in. It's a Friday. Just welcoming everybody
it's a Friday.
in. We kind of do a little show before the show. And on Friday, we can spend a little bit more time just kind of hanging out, answering questions, talking with you guys. Hi, Mary. Yes, Mary. Are you guys sleeping this morning? No, we did not take the green light dispensary gummies.
Oh, that's right. I thought that was supposed to be today.
Well, no, it was maybe. We're talking about options. Lizzie was pushing for it.
I'm pushing for that. I am pushing for all of us to do that. Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot to do today.
So he can't be all gummied
Unless it was
up.
one of the sativas.
I have a lot to do today too.
Yeah,
Oh
so I guess
gosh. When
this would have
don't
been
you?
a gummy day.
When don't you have a lot to do? When is your schedule going to slow down with movies? When's stuff going to slow down?
Movies hopefully never will slow down, but
No,
some of my other work will slow down in June.
Okay.
Hopefully my movies get more busy.
We don't see Tabitha. Oh, now she's in the shot.
Well, I'm usually hiding from the pre-show.
No, we wanted to welcome you into the pre-show.
Well, thank you.
Anybody want to ask Tabitha any questions?
The studio looks
Hi, Sasha.
beautiful.
We
got new lights.
I know.
So pretty.
Does it look different to you? Can you tell?
It looks very different. Yeah, you're very glowy under the new light.
Is glowy good or glowy bad?
Glowy good.
You're glowy.
Good glowy.
You're glowy. Glowy. Lizzie's there. Karen, Randy. Iran has executed 3 peaceful protesters. Yeah, they do. They
There's been many more than 3. Many
just-
more than 3.
That's what's being reported
Yeah.
as the latest.
You can see the videos. Many more than 3.
Falls
It's a shame.
count everywhere. Good morning. Hey, John. Good to see you. Just saying hi, trying to say hi to everybody. Sometimes we bounce in, we bounce out, we see comments. We're able to get stuff. We do appreciate your interaction. The interaction for the show is second to none. It's really, really amazing. And we love that. Paranormal Friday today, guys. We're going to talk about it in just a second as we get everything done. Sorry, I was looking at some other headlines here before we got going. What movies, Tabitha, are supposed to be good this summer?
I can't talk about
Oh,
that.
you can't even say that?
I can't.
You guys act like you're like the damn CIA or something.
I know, but we're not allowed to.
You can't even
discuss
tell me what
films.
movies are good.
No, well, we see them so far ahead of time, like 6 months to a year sometimes before they're released. So we can't give away all of the secret details. We can only talk about them after they've been released.
Derek, you keep asking it. Yes, it's all taken care of. That deal was taken care of, Derek. Yes, he paid. It's all good. Let's see here real quick. All right. So what are you averaging? About 2 hours of sleep, Tabitha?
If I'm lucky. And as you could see yesterday, when duty calls, I got to go.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Michelle says
When-
she watched Jesus
got 2
Revolution
meanings.
last night.
Which, Michelle, that is one of the best movies
You
that
liked
everyone needs to watch it.
I have not seen it, but I would like to see it.
It's inspiring. I can talk about it because it's already been released.
Mhm.
You know, we traveled around Missouri to see it. We've seen it many, many times, and it is absolutely awe-inspiring. You have to go and see it. If you see anything right now, go and see Jesus Revolution for sure.
Yeah, I need to go see that. I
All
hear
right.
nothing but good
It's a
things about it.
Friday. All right. Yeah. So was the graduation for your 8th grader tonight?
No, they just this morning we woke up to a sign in the yard
Oh,
that says
okay.
she's a graduate. Her graduation's not until next Thursday, so she still has today and 4 more days about it.
Okay. I got it.
Well, that's nice.
My son graduates Sunday, and then I'll go through it with another one who's a freshman coming up. So, I am really I told you he was making eggs. He's not cleaning anything yet, but he's just working a ton, which is great.
Yeah, that's always good when they're working.
Well, yeah,
that's a
you
plus.
need money.
Yes, they do.
All right, guys, we love it. We love you. All right, we'll just go ahead. Oh, John says, please, no more Marvel movies.
Oh, and there are so many more to come, but I'm happy. Every movie gives me more money. So yay for
That's
Marvel.
right. There we go. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start the show for our free-for-all Paranormal Friday. Projo, how you doing, man? So I can hear your voice.
Doing good.
We couldn't hear
A little
you.
antsy, I'm sorry.
There.
All right, man of
Very
many
good.
words this morning. All right, let's rock and roll.
Many words all the time.
Time to start the show. Hey guys, welcome into cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Tabitha Hassel, Lizzie Sparks in studio running the chat lines for all of you guys on multiple platforms. Of course, you can go to cancelthisshow.com. You can choose your viewing platform. We have several. And of course, why do they say I'm frozen? Am I frozen?
You're
Or
not.
is that Donna's computer or phone?
Everything looks good on this end.
So,
You were frozen on my phone for a second.
oh, okay, gotcha.
But you're back.
We're back.
You're unfrozen
You're
now.
moving now.
Unfrozen. It is Friday. It is May 19th. Ready for another episode. It is our free-for-all Paranormal Conspiracy Theory Friday, and we're going to get into a subject here in just a little bit. But first, reminding people when you go to cancelthisshow.com, like and subscribe. You can share the show. Check out all the platforms when you get a chance. If you're a very loyal viewer and listener, because it helps us with those views, those listens, all of the above. You know what we do here? We talk politics, we talk news headlines, business, society, and cancel culture education. Continue to send all, and I say continue to send all of your cancel culture ideas. Just Aaron says too much Botox, frozen. Nope, not yet. Just a little bit.
Maybe.
Just a little bit. We had just a little bit.
I sit awfully close to Vic. I don't see a single line on that face.
Oh my god!
But you've just aged gracefully. How about that? It's not because of Botox.
With a couple shots, just a couple shots. You know what? I'm convinced it helps complexion. I don't care if you're man, woman, boy, girl, whatever, because it's natural. Water and good water.
That is absolutely true.
It's a pain in the ass to drink 100 ounces of water a day or 105 ounces, what I try to drink, but I do it. It's a pain in the ass. You're always in the bathroom, but I am convinced I feel so much better. Your skin looks better. And now we go on with our healthcare show today.
I drink a ton of water myself. I really do.
But
I don't really drink soda or anything.
But now I'm getting into that whole issue that I told you about before, what I call healthy water, clean water.
That's right.
Water with as little fluoride as possible.
If you're going to put it in your body, you better make sure it's clean.
Betty says you really don't need that much water. I've heard that before too. I think it depends on, I've been told, your body weight.
And not only that, but your individual body. Like I'm a big dehydrated easily. So
you're not
a big person.
A lot of water. Yeah, you're not a big person. I'm a big person.
Well, I don't drink 100 ounces of water a day, but I drink a lot of water.
I had a friend that drank almost that, and she had to go in the hospital because she was drowning her kidneys.
If you force yourself to drink water, you don't need.
How much do you think she weighed?
She was tiny. Tiny, maybe 120, maybe, probably even littler than that. And she was drinking, oh gosh, like 20 glasses of water.
Yeah, you get up 235 pounds. My weight, 100 ounces it's not that much. But if you're tiny doing that, good Lord.
Yeah.
I drink about six cups of water a day.
Okay. No, there you go. Flushing out sodium and potassium isn't good. Correct. I've heard that as well. There's also cleanses. It is a free-for-all Friday. And he was a controversial figure, but there was a doctor. I don't bring up his name now. I don't need to get us canceled yet today. One of the ways of his, quote, off-the-grid ways of beating cancer was a total detoxification of water for like a week.
Really?
Like, you really put your body through some very strenuous times where it forces the body to recreate cells, cleanse itself. And this is the very dumbed down thumb notes version, the very Neanderthal explanation.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Where did you get the 105 ounces from, Vic? I don't even know what you mean by that.
Probably is it tap or
no,
is it bottled?
How did you come up with that number of ounces?
Oh, it was given to me by a health doc, friend of mine, who focuses on it. Too much water equals
low sodium. And that has happened to me before.
Low sodium. Yeah, of course.
I drink sometimes too much water. I've had low sodium.
Yep. And if you're eating a lot of sodium, which I do, you're fine. Not by choice. Yeah, you can hurt yourself with real water or with too much water because of the minerals leaving the body. Yep. So there you go. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how we got onto the water, but the face and all that stuff. So anyway, we appreciate you guys jumping in today. CancelThisShow.com. All right. On Fridays, we get a little off topic, but today when we get to this, we'll go a couple headlines first. But we're going to talk about Switzerland. People go, huh? Switzerland? There's so much going on in Switzerland and so much that's right out in front of your eyes that they don't even have to hide it. Now, I'm sure there's some stuff hidden, but you don't hear national media talking about it. Certainly local media is clueless and can't wait to break into some of the things that are actually going on there.
And there is so much. There is so much and such a compliant body of people.
So we'll get into that in just a moment. Please share the show, like, subscribe. If you want to donate, and we really do. All of you, you know who you are, the people who have donated. We're grateful, small amounts. If you can do large amounts, whatever, we're grateful for the show continuing on. Get ready to come into our 6th month. We're grateful for you guys continue subscribing, sharing stars, the whole thing, trying to connect us with advertisers. We're grateful about that. Lizzie put out a note last night as we grow. In regards to sales help, in regards to just helping this, we need salespeople too. I mean, we're getting a lot of requests to do things and we're grateful. And it's all because of you guys doing that. Also, I'm waiting for Alex to text me back. Alex, if you're listening, if you can let me know, please. I think our billboards and our billboard campaign has begun. Alex is supposed to send us, Alex from Raising Sales Marketing, supposed to send us a list of things but we have a billboard, sort of not competition, but awareness campaign going on.
There's an email in the producer email.
Okay, it did come in. So we're going to be all around town now. You'll see us on billboards, and I'm still waiting to get the specifics, but I think there's maybe 8 of them. Are you reading? Are you on the email?
I'm not.
Okay, I was going to say.
I downloaded the graphics.
Okay, so you'll see us around town. We'll read that in just a little bit to let everybody know what that is. Let us know where you see us, and you could win a prize. How about that? Doesn't get any easier than that. Let us know when you see us, what time, where, all those sorts of things. When it comes to some national headlines, now you're seeing a bunch, and I mean a bunch of polling that says this whole Durham situation is only propelling Donald Trump even higher in the Republican Party as Ron DeSantis, Florida governor, tries to jump in. Very interesting with everything that's going on from that standpoint. Yesterday, we talked about and showed the Adidas ad with the man wearing a one-piece women's suit. Riley Gaines, the swimmer who has been out so effectively and eloquently speaking for women's rights when it comes to athletics and men not being able to compete with women. She went after that, quote, disgusting, quote, ad, as she said, for Adidas coming in and doing that as well. Democrats are just dismissing the Durham findings. Oh, whatever. Didn't matter. Whatever. Didn't matter what we did to Donald Trump for all those years. The calls to restructure the FBI higher than ever before. Even Democrats, some Democrats are even going, okay, we need to do something here. But what can be done? What would be done? Will anything be done to, quote, kind of restructure? Anytime the FBI is involved with anything, though, now, at least it's been called to the forefront from that standpoint. And we're also going to get into AI. There is a meeting that's going on right now. We always talk about AI, and I think this is one of the most passionate subjects to Projo as well. Projo the other day is like, man, we got to do another. We got to do another AI.
Oh, because it's such an evolving situation.
Changes daily.
Every week is something different and something new that needs to be discussed.
Yeah, so there's a meeting of elites that's going on right now. A meeting of elites about AI, elites from around the world regarding, okay, what's happening right now? How are they going to use AI? Where are they going to use AI?
Determining our fate.
Well said. It's a bit scary. I was looking at some more AI topics yesterday. Guess what other field has now just been infiltrated and totally taken down? And it's only a matter of time. We talked about lawyers, architecture, and engineering.
Oh, of course. And soon it'll be every field. It'll affect everyone. We'll just watch them draw. If we had a whiteboard in here, we could just mark all of the different professions and cross one out every day that AI has taken over. And eventually we will reach the bottom of the list.
Well, to me, it's exciting and it's scary as hell. And it is concerning because every day or every week, we're hearing about something new that has been invented or AI inventing itself, getting better and better.
Did you hear about how they can now AI a show? They've actually taken Joe Rogan and he interviewed Trump.
Yeah, I saw that. As a matter of fact, there's another one that was done yesterday, AI Biden, and it was so well done and it was of comedic value, but it also lifted and was positive for Joe Biden, making fun, self-deprecating Joe Biden, but also in a very heartwarming manner for campaign ads that are being sent out all over social media. And I was like, oh, so you can tell it's Joe Biden's voice like 30 years ago, where there's energy and he is ripping him. I don't even want to promote it, which is why I'm not showing it. And I was like, do I want to show this? I was like, no, I don't want to show it because it makes him to be something that he's not. Cognitively responsible, intellectual, making fun of himself, but saying, hey, as bad as I am or as bad as I've been, I'm still better than that guy that is wild, crazy. You never know what's going to happen with him. And that's how Trump is being rebranded now as the crazy lunatic, as if, look, you can't, from his CNN town hall meeting. It's very bizarre that AI, and that's his campaigning now.
Oh yeah, and think about this. How would you know the difference? How would you even know the difference? Especially people who aren't so in tune, like us and our listeners. And you're watching these campaign speeches, and you're watching him travel around the country. How would you know it's AI and not him?
You don't, unless you're really, 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 really looking. You
That's
don't
right.
know, Tabitha. And that's one of the things that is very, very, very scary because of what's going on from the standpoint with AI. It's literally stealing the headlines on so many issues. And what's going to come out? What can we actually be talking about? How is the government going to use it? Because if it's now coming
Against
out,
us, that's how they're going to use it. Against us.
that's what I'm concerned with.
Yes. Because everything, think about this.
Could this go into your financial aspect too? This is what I was
Absolutely
getting at.
so. Absolutely so. Think about this. If somebody wants to steal your identity, what do they have to do? Create an AI version of you. All they need is to call you and you answer your phone and say hello, and they have your voice.
There's so many, and everyday people like us are trying to utilize AI and to make money. And
If the government or other bad actors can figure out a way to manipulate something to work it against you, they will definitely take that advantage. There's no question about it. And the next thing you know, Vic, guess what? You're on the wrong side of the government. Well, now you've committed a robbery at a bank in some town you've never been to. And guess what? They have all of the evidence to prove it's you. There you are on video. We have your DNA because they have everybody's DNA now. There's your face from your facial recognition. And you know what? You would never be able to prove it wasn't
who
you.
has my DNA again, and how did they get
Well,
it?
if anyone in your family, does not have to be you, it can be a cousin, somebody you don't even know in your family that has given DNA to one of these, let's see, GEDmatch or Ancestry.com, one of these services. What they do is they take a little swab, let's say at a crime scene, and they say, "Oh, it's familial DNA. We've got a little bit
crap,
of a
blood
little bit of
donation.
a match and blood donation." There's so many different ways they
Yeah.
can get your DNA.
I'm a big believer in blood donation, and I do that. And now I'm like, oh, okay, great.
But yeah, and all they have to do is prove that someone in your family was at a certain location, and then they can narrow that down and pin it on you. It is really that easy.
Well, that sucks.
It does.
I'm like, damn.
And it's too late because they have already built a big database. And some people think that 23andMe, Ancestry.com, GEDmatch, that they did all of this to build the family tree, but that's not actually true. The real purpose was always to track people. And they admit that in court. That is absolutely what it was always intended to do.
Just like fingerprinting kids.
That's exactly
Correct.
Because now, guess what? As you grow to be an adult, those kids now many are adults, they have their fingerprints in the system already.
Yeah, so we can jump into more talking about the AI aspect of what's going on a little bit later. Finishing up with some of the headlines, I talked about the FBI, pretty much every Republican against it. Even Comer, Representative Comer, who's head of the Oversight Committee in the House, saying the FBI is trying to obstruct Congress now on top of everything. While some Democrats said, yeah, there's issues here, most are being quiet. Of course they know, because it was going after Donald Trump. We talked about Ron DeSantis getting ready to launch his White House campaign. I don't even know. It's silly, in my opinion, for him to even do it, unless whatever. I just don't get it. He's not going to be able to overtake Trump. He just won't be. And at that, Tim Scott, who we all love, our South Carolina congressman, he just had a $5.5 million ad buy. So he's going hard. He's got a lot of money behind him, too.
Yes, he does.
There's so much money, despite nobody even being somewhat close to Donald Trump in all, not some, but all polling.
But now Tim Scott has Donald Trump's backing. They are friends.
Yes.
And if it came down to it, I could see Donald Trump and Tim Scott running together.
That would be good. I
think that they would get, you know what? Because then they would get the black vote. And we all know they need that vote. They need the minority vote.
But wait a second. But if you break that down real quick.
Yes.
Do you really think Tim Scott's going to bring African-American vote that Donald Trump doesn't already have from the Republicans?
Yes, I think so.
Because there's a lot of people that don't like Tim Scott, and primarily they're black, and that's the black vote he probably wouldn't get anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then there's a lot that wouldn't necessarily like Trump.
Correct.
But they still want to see a black man as the vice president and would still vote in his direction.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Joe says, wouldn't Carrie Lake still give you the minority vote?
Maybe not.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, women. I don't think Trump needs the woman's vote for the most part because he already has it. He dominates the woman's vote already.
Okay. Yeah, it is. We're just getting through some of those headlines this morning and what's going on. It does suck, just like what Vic said, talking about AI. And how is AI, the final thing with AI, and talking about Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, Tim Scott, is AI going to somehow, some way be involved in voting systems?
Well, of course.
Think about this. AI can go anywhere. If a computer is used anywhere of any kind, AI being able to infiltrate results anywhere, being programmed to change votes. That's a serious
And
thing.
what if it takes on a mind of its own, like it does in so many other different occasions, and takes over and just does what it wants to do and hides the results? How would you ever even know? How would you even conduct a forensic audit on that?
You couldn't.
You couldn't.
There would be no audit. But those audits are a joke as it is right now. We've talked about it. You realize when they do the audits, they just count the votes to make sure votes were counted. They don't check to make sure that every single person is eligible and legal. It's impossible. I don't know how you would do it. So whenever I hear, whoa, they did the checks again, they were just checking to see the numbers were right, not if the votes were legal. Sometimes I think that gets lost in translation.
Can you explain that one more time?
Okay. I was told that when they go back and do these audits,
Yes,
they're just recounting votes to make sure that the votes were counted correctly. They're not going
they're
through
not comparing signatures, but sometimes
Correct, the
sometimes they
signatures.
do. Sometimes they do compare.
That makes me
signatures.
feel better.
But the problem is you have a situation like what happened in Georgia in 2022. They threw away the envelopes. There's no signature on the ballot. So you cannot compare signatures when they throw away the envelopes because there's no signature on the ballot. They don't want you to sign the ballot. So they don't keep the envelope. So how can you compare signatures if there's no signature on the ballot?
Kimberly says, ha, 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 ha. New York Post poll had Joe Biden over Donald Trump if election was today 47% to 40%.
Oh, that's somebody dreaming.
Maybe in Manhattan. Yeah, maybe in Manhattan.
The few people that are left in Manhattan.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are still there. A lot left, but a lot are there because they started with a whole lot of people. That's for sure. By the way, Paula, thank you for sharing the show often as you say that you do. But before you know it, it's going to be here. Donald Trump's all over the news. DeSantis, the AI situation with what's going to happen with marketing, with campaigning, with getting the stuff out there. AI is, and if elites around the world are having a private meeting, we already know this isn't, quote, a great thing.
It's not great
going
for
to affect
us.
society.
It's great for them. They'll have all of their needs met without ever needing us or any of our problems.
I know. It's so sad. Okay. What Drew says, Democrat Drew says he is beating Donald Trump. Independent voters hate Donald Trump. Maybe so, but guess what? There are so more few independent voters than there have ever been before. There are. Come on. Prove to me I'm wrong. I'd love to see that because in this day and age, we're polarized by everything that's going on in our lives, in our society and media.
And I think there are some secret Trump voters as well because, no one likes to lose money. No one likes to pay high gas prices. There are some liberals who are all happy about it. Why? I don't know. But no one likes to see their money lost. And people have lost money during the Biden administration, and they can continue to blame it on Trump, as so many of them do. But ultimately, there are some of them who understand the truth. And they might tell you, oh, I hate Trump. I would never vote for him. But they're going to go in there and cast their little Trump ballots. But will any of it matter? No. A whole nother story.
Yeah, I know. It gets sad. All right, guys, this is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Tap of the Hassle. Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe, in-house, taking care of the boards, engineering, making sure everything's going well. I'm not sure if you guys can tell today or not, but I love the new lighting. I think it pops. I do. I think it pops. And if Tabitha's given a compliment as
our pretty blue is
constructive criticism as she likes to give when it comes to looking at at video. Joe, nice job. I like it.
Thank you. There's a few little adjustments that I see. However, it's a lot. It's an improvement for sure.
Kevin Joseph, you win. He's like, the Democrat Drew secretly votes for Trump, that he loves him,
Probably
that he has a
I bet he
Trump
does
teddy
too.
bear, that he curls up in a fetal ball at night with Donald Trump's picture, kissing his picture because Drew knows that he's his daddy and he takes care of Drew. Donald's your daddy, Drew. Yes, thank you, Joe. We love the blue. And I've still yet to, we must be really good at what we do for Democrat Drew to hang on every word that we say on the show every day, every way. Drew.
He never misses a show.
He does.
And not only does he never miss a show, but Drew.
Who's your daddy, Drew?
Drew used to listen to my show back in 2013, way back in the day.
Drew likes Donald as his daddy. Hey, I don't blame you. He's your daddy. He's your daddy.
People think he's not real, but he's a real man.
He's
By the
curling
way,
up with this Trumpy bear.
he does. He curls up with the Trumpy bear. And as
Hi,
Eric. Eric's got to do a maze to get to his place of talk. Drew says it's his comedy relief. Hey, regardless, we're here. We're something for everybody, buddy. Eric Johnson's here. Tabitha Hassel and Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks. And of course, Pro Joe taking care of business. All right. It's a free for all. Paranormal Friday. I'm looking forward to getting into this, and we'd love your guys' help with this as well. And you can jump in because in the mix of everything that's going on in this world, the craziness, the conspiracy theories, you have Switzerland. Okay, let me set it up here a little
Home
bit.
of the WEF.
Home of heavy water.
Is this your ancestor?
No, I'm Swedish. I'm Swedish.
Oh, Sweden,
Yes,
not
lutefisk.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
What'd you say? The heavy water? I've heard great things about. Allegedly, Switzerland has the best water in the world, like
It
tap
does.
water.
That's Germany was trying to take over Switzerland for the heavy water for their nuclear program.
When was that?
1930 something.
Oh, I was like, damn, was that last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the higher end bottled water is supposed to be Switzerland, water from Switzerland.
Mhm.
Well, whatever they're doing in Switzerland, they're doing it right. And who's in charge to make sure that their important water is so perfect there, but the rest of the world, it's not? Okay. Somehow, some way, Switzerland has managed to stay away from wars, despite all countries being surrounded by them in wars, all the wars. They've managed to have their own banks, as we've talked about, away from everybody else. Nobody can go in and check their bank accounts. And now, where do we have some of the most notorious organizations that the world has? It's Switzerland, the World Economic Forum. You've got United Nations. You've got the is it the
CERN? Isn't CERN there?
Yes.
CERN is
NATO
there.
has an office there.
NATO has an office. And I think it's the WTO. The WTO is there as well. The WTO. That's right. Okay. So all of this is going on in Switzerland. Okay. Who else is there? The Rothschilds have a castle.
Who knew that? Really?
Oh yeah. There's a Rothschilds castle.
Wow.
In Switzerland. On top of
Adolf Hitler had a castle there.
Adolf Hitler has a castle. How about this? Speaking of Adolf Hitler, when the world went looking for Nazis, and guess where their bank accounts were?
That's right.
It was in Switzerland.
That's right.
And even to this day, allegedly, Nazis that started new families that went to South America, went to Switzerland, used their banks to go through there as well.
Well, not only that, but Hitler used the model of the Swiss DNA as what he thought to be the perfect person: the blonde hair and the blue eyes and the fair skin.
That's true.
The Swiss bank accounts. Okay, so you start putting all these together. The Davos meetings, right there in Switzerland. All these world elites, where are they? Switzerland. Switzerland never has any conflict. They're never dealing with any of this stuff that's going on in the world. Is there a reason why? Okay, then in the midst of all of that that's going on, CERN. I'm still trying to teach myself CERN.
CERN is just wild. I
And
mean,
we've got some videos
really
that we're
wild.
going to show. This stuff blows my mind.
Me too.
What Eric, I think I first heard you bring up CERN.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about CERN that caught your attention?
Well, it's a 13-mile diameter, 26-mile diameter piece of tubing that basically shoots protons and atoms all over the place. And it's like the human condition wants to figure out how to create new energy. I don't know. It's a big laboratory of energy. And the scuttlebutt is that it's a good thing it's Friday, but it's that it opens up portals to different dimensions. And there is reports now that these people are seeing other dimensions and other beings in these other dimensions. And there's mathematics now.
The Anunnaki.
It's a portal.
But that being said, let's not go nuts like it's something
It's Friday, Eric.
out of Event Horizon or something like that. But
there is something going on there.
If you ask the proper questions, you can go, well, what is this you're talking? I mean, have they found out about string theory? Have they talked about?
I don't even know what string theory is.
I really don't either. Have they talked about E equals MC squared? Do they know what that means? They talk about finding out what elements are to the the universe and how the Big Bang Theory. Who knows what they're doing? But it is in a very conspicuous location. Maybe it's because it's in the mountains in CERN. But who knows what it's really doing over there? And Obama, I believe, when it opened, he was present at the opening of that thing. I think.
Well, most likely so. I mean, because people want to say, well, Switzerland is neutral. Well, Switzerland, they're not neutral. Switzerland is definitely not neutral. They are siding. As a matter of fact, they are very much siding with NATO. They just recently applied to join NATO. They've always said they're neutral, but they're not. I think Switzerland is another hotbed, just like Ukraine was, another hotbed of illegal business dealings. It's a good place for people to hide their money. You go over to Switzerland, you do a little business, and here in the United States, the IRS cannot track you.
Well, here's the thing, too, about this. It's a free-for-all Friday, Conspiracy Theory Friday. There are several conspiracy theories, but they're also all out in the open. You've got to really start thinking, why would the World Economic Forum be there? The United Nations, the Davos meetings, the WTO, the Rothschild Castle, the portal for CERN, this CERN technology. And we're going to show you some videos that I think will blow your mind and put all of this into perspective. Also, biblical prophecy from Revelations about Satan's place on earth going directly to Switzerland. You're going to see it in a second. Eric, I know it's a free-for-all Friday.
And why is everything, when they have the WEF meeting in Davos, do you know that's not even what the town really looks like? They put up a fake facade all across the town. Those are not the real storefronts. Those are not the real businesses. And there's video out there. These two guys, I can't recall their name, but they go out there, they take live video and they show them putting up the facade. So what you see during the WF meetings, the town, nothing in the town is real. It's all fake.
Well, I think if to step back about Switzerland, like if you talk about Seattle, what do you think of? You think of big tech, high tech. You think of the aviation industry,
rain, coffee,
and
homelessness.
So when you think about St. Louis, what do you think about? Beer. You think about beer,
crime.
Well, now you do. Now you do.
Sorry.
And when you think about Florida, you think about Disney. I do think that there's something about Switzerland made it very apparent to the world back in the 20s and 30s that we're out. No matter what you guys want to point at us, we're done. We're not going to get in any of your wars. We're neutral, period, discussion over. And they played that card. And I think as this discussion goes forward, just remember that the world, what's happening economically, they needed a place to go to have a headquarters. That does seem like a pretty logical place.
It does.
If you put this thing in Berlin or if you put it in Australia, it would look like you were kind of putting your hand on the scale a little bit for that city, right? So I think Switzerland's logical. It's like the Grand Cayman Islands. You put your money there, right, to hide your money. That's what they do over in Europe. They put it in Swiss banks.
And what else are they hiding? Are they hiding biolabs?
Exactly.
I don't know.
And Eric, you just brought it up.
Are they hiding experiments?
The terrain and geographical makeup of Switzerland is so dense with mountains and areas where, guess what? Allegedly, and even Alex was telling us about this and I read about it, they have dug so many tunnels throughout Switzerland that it's the only country, I repeat, the only country in the world that could actually put their entire population underground in tunnels. Why? We're just bringing up questions. We're trying to shine a light on it.
Right. And Vic, somebody on the comment line had mentioned about Switzerland not having a regulation where everyone had to go and get the C shot. Well, but the people of Switzerland chose to. They chose to. So there's still, I think 80% of the country or more has still had the cupcake.
Okay. Eric, I just find it fascinating in this world with so many wars, nobody ever tried to take over Switzerland.
Right.
And
they tried to protect it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All these world powers tried to protect it.
And when I started to go, oh crap, something's going on, was CERN and portals.
With good reason.
And why is it Switzerland where this is being put into $400 billion or whatever into this project? Something else is there. And I'm like, okay, something's going on.
Mm-hmm. Switzerland
gets to go off to the side. Okay, now we tried to break it down in some of those senses with what is actually going on there.
Yep.
All right. Hey, Joe, can we start with the Bible prophecy video? I think that's a great way to jump into this. And just explaining the biblical prophecy, what's happening in that whole situation. Glenn also says their citizens are armed. I didn't know that.
Yeah, remember we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Michelle said the Rothschilds are part of Satan's bloodline. Okay, we're really getting in there right now. But Joe will run this video.
Is that the Satan's location one? Don't mean to.
No, the Bible prophecy. I thought we.
So just before you go any farther, this is from Google, not Bing AI. So that's a good thing. But it says Switzerland was chosen to host CERN as a large extent because of its net neutrality. Okay, there you go, neutrality. And it safeguards against the mishaps of scientific research results for military purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So China, it wasn't going to go into China because Beijing would have come in there and taken all the technology.
And this is Google.
This is Google. Well,
I mean, have to consider the source with Google. Who owns Google?
Who's never going to tell you the truth about anything?
Who puts all that information into there?
Yeah.
Projo, are we on the same page yet, dude, with the young man with blonde hair talking? The
Palladian?
I thought you had it listed under the Bible prophecy because it is so fascinating when you start breaking down some of the interesting things that are going on here. Here we go.
Is it possible that the Bible actually reveals the location where Satan lives? Check this out. In Revelation chapter 2, verse 13, Jesus said, I know where you dwell. It's where Satan's throne is. And he said it's the same city that St. Antipas was martyred in. So we just have to find out what that city is. Well, some researchers tell us that St. Antipas was martyred under the reign of Nero in a city called Lyon, or today, Geneva, Switzerland. But wait till you find out what's been happening in Geneva, Switzerland. Geneva is the home of an organization called CERN, whose logo just happens to be 3 6s. CERN actually has a device that shoots particles at each other, attempting to split between the natural and the supernatural realm. Geneva is also the home to some primary bases for the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization. And they also have this big ugly statue of the god Shiva, who's known as the Destroyer.
Why would you put a statue of the Destroyer in the middle of your city?
And right next to the UN.
Why, Tabitha?
Think about this. I'm going to go way off the deep end here.
Okay, it's Friday.
Way off the deep end.
It's Friday, and no, we're not on gummies today yet. Maybe next Friday we'll do the gummies before the show.
Only because it's Friday.
I mean, you got gummies?
I talked to your boy Charlie yesterday.
You got them here?
I may go pick our drops up today, Eric.
So next week,
Eric, it's going to be a good weekend. No,
okay, yeah. got a PRL show. Let's go.
Yeah.
Remember when we had the girl here that talked about seeing the aliens and talking to the spaceships and talking to these folks over at Bush Wildlife Area?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and the alien channeler.
And then we talked about the different types of aliens and how some of them have blonde hair and they look like goddesses. There's a theory out there that those people came from Switzerland originally, and somehow the Swiss people evolved, and they are one of the very few of us Earthlings that survive, and they are able to travel back in time, and that's why these Palladian extraterrestrials have the long blonde hair. They're tall with the sleek bodies, and they're considered very beautiful. Now that's just a theory out there. I'm not saying I agree or disagree.
Okay.
Okay.
I
They don't
know
look
about
like the Anunnaki.
That doesn't feel
And
right.
they don't look
Lizzie,
like
how's that
ET.
feel to you over there?
But I
feels
love it,
odd.
Tabitha, because
Really
feels-
odd.
it
it's a
feels odd.
free-for-all
Does.
Friday.
And that's why I brought it up. If it weren't Friday, I would never bring that up.
Yes.
Yeah, but on Free for All Friday, you can't say things.
But how do we know? So now I can't say things
You
on
can
Free
say
for All
whatever you
Friday
want.
either.
This
But
is
a Palladian blonde bombshell that looks like Heather Locklear.
Well,
yeah, baby.
Come
that's
on,
one
man.
of the
Eric,
extraterrestrial
that's what it's
types
about.
that
Come
is
on.
so often
Come on.
described
Eric,
when
we're
people
protected.
are abducted.
We're the protectors.
This is protected speech in here today.
It is. But it can't be crazy.
Friday
speech.
protected speech.
I know you already restrict me Monday through Thursday. Come on, it's Friday.
Come on. Now that was mean. That was not nice of you.
Tabitha. So you see the prophecy, Eric. What do you think about that?
Here's what I think. I think that CERN is. Look, kind of put all the
I
weird
love
stuff
that
out
you're
of your brain.
taking the other side. This is great.
It is weird. I don't understand the whole 26-mile tube thing because we're not scientists. I don't understand the reports that come out of this place that seem
And there's
semi-legit.
Shiva. There's Shiva.
Yeah.
By the way, the Indian god of destruction sitting outside the UN.
That's a good question.
And it kind of looks like CERN. If you
and
think about it.
look at the portal, or it looks like it could be a.
If you look at
portal.
Catholicism,
Look at
everything in a Catholic church is iconic, right? You walk in there, there's icons and there's iconography all over the place, right?
It's all the Catholics' fault.
Well, no,
No,
hold
I'm
on,
kidding.
Tab. Don't go crazy on me for a second.
I'm messing with you.
But Catholics are very into
More into
the
Shiva.
They're very into that. So the converse of that, the other side of that, would be things like statues of the destroyer. It would be literally the juxtaposition to the Catholics, who are God and the cross and the crucifix and the holy whatever. Then you have this. So it does ask the question, why are you guys putting a statue of the just answer the question.
It's a great question.
I don't need a long answer. I just need, what's the deal with the damn destroyer outside of the CERN thing that you guys are building?
Yeah.
It's just a question.
And maybe
let him
that's the point.
and let him fabricate an answer.
Because what is
and it might make
CERN
sense.
about? I mean, we've all most of us have seen the videos.
As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what, Projo, get out AI, ChatGPT, and ask him, why is there a statue of the destroyer outside of CERN
Yeah.
in Switzerland? Let's see what ChatGPT has
I don't
to
think
say.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. It's very
yeah.
fascinating.
Why
The thing-
not?
When
I'll
I
do it
started,
myself.
but Eric, if you're really going to go down the path and believe that there's something evil there, then you have to believe that.
I don't know that there is anything
I know.
evil.
No, me is what I'm saying is then you have to believe that something good is going to call it out.
I think scientists
Something
are
holy.
idiots. I think that they build things, they don't know what the hell they're
that
building.
revelation.
that is not definitely not
ChatGPT
true.
is a fantastic
that
example.
revelation
And they did that on
Bible
purpose,
scripture
Eric.
with
What?
Saint Antipas being called out and it being Switzerland, that gave me chills when I read that scripture. I'm like, and it is at worst, at least a great topic to talk about, which is why we were trying to show it. And then Shiva, the god of destruction, the destroyer.
And
What?
I know, Vic, you said we have some videos of CERN today.
We do.
Are any of them?
We are.
And I haven't seen them yet. Are any of them the videos that you see where people in the area are filming clouds above CERN or the storms that are caused when CERN is started up?
Projo, I know Eric sent you on a fact-finding mission. When you get done with that fact-finding mission, unless Eric takes it over.
I'm doing it right now.
Eric's
You
asking his
just leave me
girlfriend,
alone.
babe.
Talk to your girlfriend
so
over there in the
Projo.
dark corner, Eric.
So Projo,
Yeah.
let's do
Being
this.
the girlfriend.
Can you please call up, just as Tabitha said, clouds, the cloud portal video that we have? It's so interesting you said that because yes, Tabitha, we do have that video when portal goes up and we're going to show it.
And
right
how
now.
could you say this isn't power? How can you say CERN is not a formidable power when you watch these videos?
Yes, we're calling it up right now. This is what you were talking about. The CERN possible portal. This is not a thunderstorm that is going on with, quote, lightning in the skies. This is video of that. And here it comes.
That's CERN, baby. Look at that flow. That's crazy. I gotta get
Is that what you were referring to?
It is, and there are so many videos just like this.
A portal
There
opening?
are so many videos just like this. Is it for time traveling? Is it for extraterrestrials? Is it to control the
that's
weather? What exactly is going on?
Well, here you go.
I first started hearing Eric talking about CERN and portals a few years ago, and I was like, what the hell? And now I'm like, oh crap.
Oh yeah, here's what my friend Bing. You don't know him. I'll introduce you later. But
Her, him.
whatever. This is what my friend Bing says. He says, "Hello, this is Bing." I said, "Hi, how you doing?" He said, "The statue of Shiva at CERN is a gift from India."
Yes.
It is a gift from India. I don't have my glasses on, so you have to forgive me for a second. But it's a celebration CERN's association with India, which began in the 1960s. Shiva is a Hindu deity who is depicted as the cosmic dancer. That's interesting. That's
yes,
interesting.
It is.
Sounds like a band.
Yeah, that was playing tonight at the pageant.
And she's dancing with the cosmos.
Symbolizing the natural flow of energy, divine energy, divine energy.
Divine.
I can stop there. There you go.
Yeah, that's spooky.
I can stop right there. So it has
That's
nothing to do
crazy.
with. But we just, if that's true, and it sounds like it's true, that does make more sense than the destroyer that we talk about.
It's the god of destroyer. She is the god of destruction.
The cosmic dancer and the flow of energy.
Yes.
The divinity and the divine energy, which is heaven.
Now, yeah, you can call whatever you
right.
want to call
Are we all agreed on that for right now? That makes sense.
Yeah, but the god of destroyer, that's what Shiva is. The
And
god of destroyer.
How do you gain so much power? How do you gain so much power to create a cloud like that? To create
yeah, people are really looking at that
storm?
video. People are going, wow, that wasn't lightning cloud.
I know. I've seen some weird lightning storms though in Kansas before though. I've
Not-
seen
not like
some,
this.
some crazy
Not like this.
things.
Did you see that? I mean, that looked like a tornado in a way. That, I don't know if I would call it a portal, but that was some serious power we have harnessed on this earth to cause that type of reaction above CERN. That's insane.
Okay. So you've got that. Then as we move on from the standpoint, it is very interesting. I'd like to get into, now we get the other part of Switzerland before we get into the CERN, which blows my mind too. One of the creepiest statues in the country or in the world is in Switzerland as well. And it's on a building downtown. Check out this evil statue of a monster eating little babies.
Wow.
This sits, it's the Klanda Burshamalaka name. I can't even, but it starts with a K. This sits in Switzerland.
I've seen
Where
this photo
in
before.
the hell are you really going to keep something like that with everything else that's going on in Switzerland? You have that sitting front, square, and center for everybody to see.
Yeah, let's eat babies.
Okay.
Welcome to
so
Showbiz
weird.
Pizza Place.
So here's what I'm getting at. It's like there's 15 things that are all a part of the pie that make you go, oh, there's something else. Oh, there's something else. Oh, once again, it's like a 5-syllable pronunciation.
What's the name of the statue?
The Klanda?
Can you
the Klanda?
Can you ask AI?
It's the
You don't have to.
Klanda.
Don't worry about it. Anybody got AI on it? I don't even say
Ask
Google
Bing.
anymore.
Ask Bing.
Yeah, ask Bing.
Ask your boyfriend Bing.
Somebody on the chat line ask Bing what's the name of the thing is? What is the name of this thing?
It's the Klund. Okay, here it is. It's the KIND
KIND
LIF
LIF
RE
RE
SSER
SSER
Brunnen.
Brunnen. And it's a statue in Switzerland.
Yes.
And ask him what is the symbolic reason.
The child eater of Bern is what it's referred to. It's a nearly 500-old sculpture depicting a man eating a sack of babies, and nobody knows why.
It's very strange.
Okay, how do you commission something like that?
That's what I'm saying, and it's all in this area. That's what this Free for All Friday is about.
Now there is the maybe this falls in line with the gargoyles.
I was
Why
just
you
gonna
put
say that.
gargoyles on the castle?
And all the old think about all the old paintings and all the old statues of orgies and people partaking in different things that now we would consider to be, more taboo. But back then, think about that. That was their artwork. That was things they did.
But for it to still be sitting there.
Right.
A man eating babies.
Well, you know what?
Our monster man eating, it was a monster man eating a sack of babies.
Switzerland might have a propensity for erring on this side of art, Maybe this is historic to them. Why would you rip something down that might have been not so controversial 500 years ago? Is that what they said? 500 years ago. Then all of a sudden now you're in this woke culture. Well, let's start ripping statues down. That sounds familiar.
But maybe this is really what
Satanists.
Maybe this is really what humanity is and was. But we, the people, we're not part of the elite class. And therefore, we don't see these things and think highly of them. But maybe it all represents the true nature of humans.
Okay, Pro Joe just rocked our house. He has Wikipedia up. I can't read it. Can you read that to us?
I can't. It says exactly what I was just talking about.
Okay, so you got that too.
Yeah, right. That's where it goes into. So
I think one thing we're learning today is even though it sounds bombastic, everything has an explanation. Everything can be talked through. Everybody can be talked
right through to evil. You're 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is Switzerland known? Is it a nefarious, cultish type country? I have no idea.
That's why we bring all that stuff
Two
up.
of our
People
listeners
make up their mind.
Have examples. Bindi says that's an example of where the aborted babies go. And then someone else, I think it's Todd, says on the line that is Lindsey Graham eating babies.
Aaron says Satanism is in vogue again. And it is. Return of the Old Gods by Jonathan Cahn.
It is.
Yeah,
you just look at the Grammys. They had a great. It was like we
talked about.
It was like a PR. It was a PR show for Satan himself.
And we all know what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah.
It is okay, and so that evil statue was just bizarre to me. Okay, there are issues with the whole CERN situation. I'm looking for the other piece of video that I wanted to show.
And there are so many. Well,
dumbass Americans.
Pull up this whichever CERN video, Pro Joe.
We invent so many dumbass things as a species. All they got to do is open up a black hole that's literally smaller than a particle on you've just killed the entire planet. Think about that for a second. You open up a black hole, something that has negative energy, and you've basically just wiped out the entire planet Earth.
No, it's a good perspective. Here's another video about CERN, Satan in Switzerland. What's going on?
Maybe they were trying to build a portal to hell at CERN. I mean, that machine looks like an evil eyeball, doesn't it? Mm-mm. And they built it right where the Bible says Satan dwells. And to the angel of the church in Pergamum write, the words of him who has a sharp two-edged sword. I know where you dwell, where Satan's throne is. Yet you hold fast my name, and you did not deny my faith, even in the days of Antipas, my faithful witness, who was killed among you, where Satan dwells. Now I know what y'all thinking. Pergamum is in Turkey, not Switzerland. And Satan's throne is actually this, the temple to Zeus. Yeah, Pergamum actually had a famous temple to Zeus, and it even looks like a throne. But what it actually said was, Satan's throne was in Pergamum, but Antipas was killed where Satan dwells. So where was Antipas killed? Well, early Christians actually believed that Antipas was martyred in Geneva, Switzerland, at the temple to Apollyon. He was burned in a brazen bull in Geneva, Switzerland. Wow. Whoa, so let me see if I got this straight. So Antipas was sacrificed to Apollyon, where CERN's at. The Bible says Satan dwells where CERN's at. And there's a statue to Shiva, the destroyer, where CERN's at. And Apollyon is actually mentioned by name in Revelation 9:11. And he's in the lowest part of hell, in the bottomless pit. So what are they doing at CERN again? Yeah, probably opening a portal to hell.
I found that one interesting.
That was ominous.
Come on, man. I mean, I'm with you.
I don't know that
I'm with you on this.
I don't think I believe that.
Because if you step back and you go, when you die, your energy, right? And you guys know more about this than I do. I just kind of research it on the side. But your energy,
me too, Eric.
Your energy, you don't bring this physical body with you wherever you're going, correct?
Correct.
You go somewhere else.
Correct. Your soul.
So if you are literally trying to figure out fusion, fission energy, and that's really not that big a deal. You could do that at any laboratory in any college across the United States. This thing is 27 miles long. They might have some mathematical equation that, like Tabitha, you might talk about from the old Egyptians or wherever, that they know how to do it now. And it does make you wonder if you would never tell humanity you were building CERN to open a portal to hell.
No. Hell no.
You would not do that. It would be like, we are just trying to make.
I don't think that's. I mean, that's
keep
just
that
my
up,
opinion.
Projo. Keep that up. The other deal with CERN, you can see it a little bit here, but on bigger graphics, the CERN graphic has 3 6s. 666. That is the actual CERN graphic.
It sure does.
And when you pull it out, it has 3 6s
Damn.
all around it.
Why do that?
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, the font's good enough.
If you're going, yeah, but that's what I've always said. If you're going to do a story and break it down, this was easy to do the research because they're so. I mean, dealing with St. Louis City and breaking down those stories like I did was much more difficult than
breaking down the FBI is harder.
Yes. 3 6s all around CERN in regards to the case that we're building. One step, one step, one step. Here's another piece to the pie that just makes you go, huh, okay, we'll see what we got there. You know, I mean, you can figure out whatever you want to with that.
And there's a lot of speculation because we don't know.
Do you not see 3 6s around the CERN?
I do, but I absolutely, my own personal thoughts, I don't believe CERN was created to reach out to the devil or to create a devil.
What do you think
porthole
it is?
to hell.
What do you think it is?
If it's anything to me, it is more about creating time travel and opening up a gateway into space.
So the official use is what they do is they collide,
smash atoms.
They collide particles or atoms, and they create black holes. They're trying to figure out dark matter.
Right.
That's safe.
Quantum physics.
Let's go. Why don't we open up a COVID laboratory right next door to it?
What was the show, The Time Traveler Dude? I love that guy. Remember, there was
it was Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap, yeah.
Quantum Leap. I love that show, Quantum Leap. That's maybe what it's part of, but it's interesting. This is all taking place in Switzerland. Joe, we should have another CERN video that we have not run that I was wanting to show. Not the Rothschild's castle yet, but which happens to be right there in Switzerland with everything else that we've already shown you.
It is a beautiful country.
With all of that situation there. Okay. Let me explain this really quick. Part of building CERN was opening up a rail system. So they're opening up a rail system that's part of CERN. So the day that they were doing it, this was the opening ceremony for it.
Oh boy.
In Switzerland next to CERN. Why is this the show that's happening? Just check it out.
The people you get your science information from do this. Tell me, other than satanic praising, the reason for this, for science. Dung beetle, satanic. Yeah, they had to celebrate. This is the opening ceremony, right?
Almost looks like Rihanna's halftime performance.
Yeah, it does. Or a perverted Wizard of Oz.
Huh? Silence. Guess what? A clock. Guess who's the god of time? Kronos. Guess who else Kronos is? Saturn. Guess who else Saturn is? The devil. They are worshiping the devil. What? On their knees?
Very strange.
That's not an uplifting ceremony.
That's what I'm saying.
It's so strange.
Man.
I'm just saying there's so many things regardless, and we're just trying to bring it out to light. It's a Friday. This is what we do on Fridays. We find some off the wall situations that are going on. Maybe conspiracy, maybe not.
It's I mean, how can you look at that? I mean, I can see,
the clock is the most interesting part.
Exactly, especially if you think about time travel,
Yeah.
that maybe that's
the most obvious part of it.
And
Yeah.
it's just spinning.
I mean, they know. Why would you put that in your opening ceremony?
Everything has
with the demonic beginning.
If
No
PRL had an
coincidence.
opening ceremony, you'd have a bunch of unicorns and jockstraps. But I mean,
that says a lot.
Eric's band.
I mean, so if you're going to do one for CERN, you make it the iconology of what it is. Even if it's hidden,
Well, the symbolism we have, it always means something. It always means something.
It does.
That one's I always try to get to the 30,000 foot view. The clock was the 30,000 foot view. Everything else is speculative. There's nothing speculative about a clock in your opening ceremony. They think, like Tabitha Hassel just told you,
backwards and forwards.
Like Tabitha Hassel just told you, this is a time machine that they're making.
You have to be aware of what's happening at CERN in Switzerland. What else do we have? Not the Rothschild Castle yet. Do we have anything else?
I think that's the only one left.
That I was like, damn, I can't remember everything that I sent. And then in the midst of everything that else is going on there, don't think for a second that all people who live in Switzerland like back everything that's going on.
Oh, of course they don't. That's why they come here.
And they know what's going on with everything because they're there. And recently there were attacks at the Rothschild Castle. Here's some video from that standpoint as well. Yes, the Rothschilds, you've heard the name. We just hear the names. We're not really sure about anything that's going on, but you hear stuff. We're just talking about it. And you see the video, people starting to, quote, wake up and protest what's happening in their country.
That's not the real music there.
No.
Sound that you said.
Blessed be our new founding fathers.
What the hell? No, that's the video, Eric. That's just the sound, Eric. It was just, that's the castle. People protesting. Why are they protesting the Rothschild? It's just all fascinating with all of this stuff going on.
That's it. Where's Elliot Davis? Get him on the bat phone. Let's go.
Elliot would be lost on this.
Get Elliot Davis a plane ticket immediately. Have him report back to us on Monday.
Anthony, Anthony, you came in way too late. You need to go back and start from the beginning because what we have done is we have laid out a case for what's happening in Switzerland.
People are waking up around the world. It's happening around the world.
Wait a minute. So there's this, and I've now looked at this on Google on multiple websites. And one of the things that they're saying, let's see if I can find it.
Go to DuckDuckGo.
They're saying that CERN might be causing collective mass delusion by creating portals to alternative dimensions. And this is Vice. You know the little periodical Vice?
Yeah. No, I do.
That's not, it's a rag, but it does have
you're
real
right.
reporting in it.
No, you're right. It does.
CERN is a very powerful, whatever it is, it's a very powerful entity. And we have to remember when something is that powerful, what can it do to you? What
does
happens
it mean?
to the people
Let me ask
around
you this.
there?
We kind of sidestep a lot of this. What does it mean to you that we're opening dimensional portals? Does it make you think about what does it make you think about?
It makes me think about how did they get the technology? It makes me
that's
think,
fair.
What
Number
is
one.
the purpose of creating this technology? What's the end goal? What are they trying to do? And obviously we know they don't care about any of us. We're all just collateral damage. So whatever their end goal is.
Who's they?
They being
they?
Whoever the puppet masters are.
Okay,
the
elites.
The people who are not in bricks, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Eric, one other thing while you look that up.
Yes.
Just if you're just joining us, we're just out. Let me put it back for you. All of the interesting things that are associated with Switzerland. Once again, Switzerland, never in any war, private bank accounts, Nazi bank accounts, the World Economic Forum there, CERN there. We talked about the Nazi bank accounts. There's one of the world's largest art storages located in Switzerland as well.
That's right.
Guess who else is there? The CIA.
Soros.
Why? We haven't even gotten to Soros yet. CIA with CERN, time travel possibly, portals opening, CIA. Oh, isn't this interesting? George Soros. And enough underground bunkers to put their entire population, only country in the world to put their entire population underground.
Yes.
There's just so many things.
And what if they make a mistake? When you have that much power, what if
Robert
they make
says
a
it's called
mistake?
the silent circle? I wonder what that means.
So USA Today has a fact check and they call it false.
Oh
all
my
of
God.
the stuff.
Well, of course
Of
they
course,
do.
it's USA Today. You can't trust USA Today. Unfortunate. That's like trusting Lester Holt when he's getting money from George Soros.
Collider can't open portals, is what they say.
Well, we're not going to. Hey, everybody, coming to Switzerland.
Yeah,
we're going to go talk to the Anunnaki. We're getting ready to do some time travel. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
It does make me wonder if, and I know maybe next Friday, I'm going to bring in the photos or send some video to Joe. There's some very strange things being seen in our atmosphere. And it does make me kind of wonder if it has anything to do with CERN. And I know someone who saw it with their own eyes. They were in an airplane. They took a photo, not someone who's crazy or overly imaginative. And it looked seriously like a black portal. It was like a black ring floating through the sky. He saw it. People are taking photos of these black rings all over the world. I don't know what they are. I don't know where they come from, but I know someone who saw one and took a photo of one. So I know they exist. And then we have this other material that all of a sudden people are taking photos that they're seeing in our atmosphere, primarily when they're flying. I mean, it's not happening to clearly everyone and everywhere, but what is it? Is it being caused by programs like CERN?
You've asked the proper question. We have no answers.
We never have answers on Fridays because
that is a good point, Tabitha. That is a good point.
But what are these things, and is it related?
They say mathematics. They say elementary mathematics would tell you to create a black hole would be as big as the universe itself.
Wow.
So not 26 miles, but as big as the actual universe to actually create enough energy to create a black hole. So that kind of makes sense. I think that if you're a scientist, you could probably do the mathematics on it and say, all right, yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? But what are they creating with this thing? And what they say, they're trying to discover elementary new particles. And I don't know what that means, but I guess that means just discover new things that they can. Now,
and how is it going to harm us?
And I'm just being the devil's advocate.
Eric,
I'm being the devil's advocate, no pun intended.
I do need to tell you one thing I was saving for CERN, though, but officials who are operating CERN in Switzerland have admitted that they are communicating with entities.
I heard that too. I did.
They are communicating with entities, which makes you wonder what kind of an entity.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
But is it like a radio wave?
Is it an extraterrestrial entity? As Tabitha was saying, maybe it could be that.
They don't talk about it.
Or is it an evil entity or something of a spiritual nature that is below the surface, so to speak?
Yeah, but we hear radio signals from space too.
We do.
Do we know what they are?
And pings and other noises.
But we're never going to be told exactly what's going on.
And lights and flashes. I'm going to have to find it. I had it at one point. I'm going to find it again.
I'm afraid that this actually falls in the whole Roswell thing. It does. It's like
what part? The CERN, you mean?
The CERN is the new Roswell. You can walk up to the gates. You can have a bunch of guys with cameras filming it, but you're never going to know what's in Roswell. You're never going to know what's in CERN.
Well, follow the money. Why so much money? And countries all over the world are investing in it. It's
true.
It's what? You're doing what? And we're keeping it somewhat quiet? Oh, you're telling us you are speaking to entities? Are you kidding me? In the middle of everything else that is in that entire place. We are going to have our friend from Patty's podcast. You guys remember Patrick, who we had on. Patrick is going to be coming on. He's getting ready to release a report that he's been working on for many years regarding JFK. And what makes me think about this is Aaron Bland bringing up JFK. There's also this rumor out there that JFK was killed not because of anything with Cuba or wars, but because he was not going to follow the narrative and keep extraterrestrial contacts quiet.
Well, then Trump should be dead because
Patrick
Trump hasn't said a word.
Trump hasn't said a word. But he's never said a word.
And so is Obama. Obama did the same thing. Remember?
But they haven't released or they haven't given the documents or specifics about everything.
Not everything, but we have to remember.
The Bay of Pigs thing was a kind of a big deal,
look
too.
Look how much progress we've made. We've actually had our Pentagon say that there could be a mothership in our galaxy.
Okay.
And the UFOs we're seeing are probes. Eric,
but that's more. That's right.
Look at the UAP hearings.
You're right. But that's more blurriness. Isn't that more blurriness?
No, you know what? To me, that's an admission that something else is out there.
Anytime the government admits to anything,
that's
when I don't believe. So now I believe it's them and not aliens.
Wait a minute, what? Because I don't think that I mean, they're just speculating. It's not like we have a radar ping right behind Saturn of something that looks like a mothership. What was the discussion with all that, by the way? Was it they were just guessing that they're sending probes? Was it just a guesstimation? Because I mean, if they were to come into Congress with a picture and it said, look at this cigar-like structure that happens to be 50 miles long. We understand that it has its own propulsion system. We think this is a mothership. Was that the discussion that they had? I mean, did they break it down that much?
Well, in the UAP hearings, they've said these things. Whenever they saw the balloons or other objects around the same time the China balloon, they said that they saw these items. They said there was no obvious propulsion system.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they moved erratically. They shot them down. They claim they've never found them. I don't believe that.
This whole portal, the whole CERN does look like the eye, which is scary.
Everything looks like the eye. Illuminati eye, this eye,
the CERN,
the universe eyes. Have you seen those?
Maybe CERN has always been there. Think about that.
The CERN 666 situation. I'm just like,
what does the Catholic Church think about this?
Deep breath.
Does the Catholic Church
about the CERN?
Yes.
I don't know.
They're not going to tell you anything.
I'll look into it.
I remember when I went
to Vatican is just as bad as the WEF.
That's not what they asked.
Not the Catholics like Vic. I'm not talking about the people.
She's partly right and she's partly wrong.
I'm talking about the people at the very top.
So the Pope knows about this?
I guarantee. That's a 5-hour topic.
Wow, we got to get into that.
Because I've explained before.
It's tangible.
But I told you I spoke with the former Archbishop of St. Louis, Raymond Burke.
Okay.
We had about 2 hours. And he explained the whole situation to me. He's like, if you believe in good, you have to believe in evil. If you believe there's a God, you have to believe in the devil.
Okay.
If you believe God wants good for you, you have to believe the devil wants bad for you. And if anything is good, devil is going to try to interfere, take everything it can. I told you those behind the door meetings, there is a battle to go after, quote, the one true church from the beginning. So you attack that, you take it down. There was an infiltration. Now, this is the sad part. As he told me, half those bishops are some of the most evil people you would find.
That's
and
right.
Half are the most divine sainthood people. And there is a battle. Because it is the battle between good and evil. And it's always
in
been
private. Why don't they make it in public?
And it's been that way from the get.
Man, I do not understand the Catholic Church. I just don't.
It's all
I'm
religions
sorry.
right now. I mean, you can see that Satan is infiltrating our seminary.
The health, wealth, prosperity message, which is evil.
It is.
What?
It is.
Then why are you part of that? I'm not trying to be mean.
Vic is not part of that. I mean, nor are we as Christians part of that.
When it gets away.
I'm telling you what.
It's all just a crazy situation.
The Vatican just happens to have more power than other Christian religions, other parts of Christianity.
But to me, it's like if the Pope or the bishops or whatever, if they're there and they know what's going on with the CERN, why aren't they rallying the troops? Why aren't they rallying the troops and like saying, the $45 trillion that we have in the bank? I am doing commercials all over the world right now to explain what's going on at CERN. That's a legitimate question.
The Catholic religion, they're very private, and there are battles going on.
Well, you don't.
And it's
private.
Not just, but Eric, I understand your confusion, and it makes sense to me because you want everything to be black and white.
Yes, sir.
A bow put on, and here you go. And I want
Jesus
that too.
And the devil's pretty black and white to me.
But
am I wrong?
But the word is pretty clear on what is right and what is wrong. Now, the issue when it comes to scripture and all of these things, you're not ever in life. That's why you have the faith aspect as well. We don't get all the answers that we want. Now, the CERN situation, I'll look into it, but I'm going to tell you right now, anything that's good is always going to be attacked over and over and over.
So CERN is good.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm scared to death of CERN.
It is kind of a creepy thing.
I mean, after watching what's going on there and having information,
there's a lot of people with a lot of big money that are interested in this thing too.
That's following
of course.
And it's a worldwide issue.
And Obama's not a part of it, but he's definitely interested in it himself. And he he's part of that little global elite kind of profile.
I'm not going to
saying?
say he's the top guy, but he's way up there.
Well, he's the figurehead. He's a puppet of the real guys.
Do you know that Obama, back when he was a low-life senator, not that
a low-life senator,
but when
not that long ago, 2007,
when he first started out as a senator, and I meant to say low-paid senator, not low-life, but except for in his case. He lived in a $2 million condo. Now, how does a first-year senator afford a $2 million
we already know how.
condo?
Okay, he was.
Well, you saw his handlers and the people who brought him forward.
Of course,
they greased their palms.
Absolutely so. Yeah. And we have to start asking ourselves, why is it that these people who the Democrat regime, and they are a regime, bring into the leadership roles in our country? Why do they have to pay them? I think we all know the answer.
Yeah, I think that right now,
where are you taking us now?
I'm not. I'm just talking about the evil entities.
Evil entities.
Yeah,
the trajectory our country and the world is going.
If there is anything evil, and I don't know there is, but if it is evil, here's where the evil is. It's the marketing of this stuff if Jay-Z's involved with it, he's marketing to the kids. If Obama's involved in this somehow, he's marketing to people that subscribe to the Obama brand. If, who are some more of your favorite people that are apparently a part of this? That's evil because you are leading them down this weird road that's not holy, right? It's not wholesome. I think the word that I'm like, how do we get back to a wholesome society? And if we can't,
a civil war.
You always say that
because it's true.
I don't subscribe to that. That's not my thing.
You don't.
That's not my thing.
But it is the only way.
I think you taught
because the battle is, Eric, is that we're losing. We're losing the battle in the good.
I don't understand why,
Eric. You know how you do it?
Yeah,
I'll give you a solution. Okay. But nobody wants to hear it, and some people will make fun of me for saying it. This country has to turn back towards God.
Well,
100.
Okay.
But how is that going to happen without fighting for that right?
But Vic, how do you do that when I can't even talk to someone like you and you say, look, I have friends in high places. I know the bishop knows the Pope, and we can't get straight answers from the guys that are supposedly the head of the.
You take care of you.
That's true.
You take care of you.
That's right.
And your spirituality.
Yeah, that is true.
That's how
what
you
Vic
take
just
care
said
of
is pretty much as true as it gets.
Correct. And raise your kids that same way. Raise them what is good. And you have to tell them the ugly, bad things that are happening even in the church.
But our society, and I'm not trying to get on because I'm a sinner, doing my best. But as a society, we have gone way off course, way, way, way off course. And things that all of us think are normal, not that big of a deal, are a big deal to God. And those are little things. And when a country turns its back, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
But it still comes down to who our elected leaders are, because
Good point.
Our elected leaders are the ones who are passing this legislation that makes it very difficult to have your Christianity.
Yeah. And God,
so
if you turn your back on God and God forgets about you like he did with his people, then that's on you. You don't have that blessing for your country anymore.
Yes, and our country
does
not have the hand of God over them right
for
now.
us.
I say we can have the Christianity in our heart. We can have God in our hearts. But we're getting to a point right now.
What does that mean, though?
Well, it means that we're getting to a point right now in this country where they're shutting down churches. They're turning people away from Christianity, and they're out. I mean, it is literally in a way like outlawing a lot of Christian things. You can't take a Bible to school. They're turning against us. And I don't see an easy way to win. You can carry it with you in your heart. But at some point, if we keep going down the path we're on, you're not going to be able to express your Christianity in public.
Yep. Pretty much.
That is the path.
That's the goal.
The best I've ever felt. And I guess the CERN thing wraps back around. I'm
glad you bring it, Eric. Thank you.
But the best I ever felt was I was agnostic. I was never atheist because I just didn't know. I was agnostic. I was like, man, this whole creation thing seems weird. Like Adam and Eve. If that's the first book in your book, I don't know about this. And so I was always like Darwinism. Oh, well, that makes sense. So I'm always been the kind of guy that rips apart the Legos and tries to put them back together, right? And then I
love that analogy. That's awesome. Yeah.
And as I started to get older. And I started getting depressed, and I started getting like, what else is out there? And then I found a little community church. It wasn't Catholic. It was non-denominational.
Those are the best.
Those were the best. And I was like, and he says, hey man, did you ever think about Jesus? Did you ever think about God? I go, not at all. He goes, okay, we'll come to Bible study, ask your questions, and we'll have a coffee afterwards. It'll be fine. And I did this in Kansas City, Missouri. I got baptized about 6 months into this. I was like, I love this. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it. The night I got baptized, I'll never forget this. It felt like a bolt of lightning hit me right square in the forehead. And it was a physical with a spiritual awakening.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the Holy Spirit.
And I was like, that was all the proof I needed. And the farther you, as a Christian,
I'm glad you shared that.
As a Christian, it will happen to you. You'll get saved and you'll get that feeling. And as a human, you'll move farther away from it day to day because you want what the flesh wants, right?
Correct.
And you have to continually bring yourself back into that feeling, right? And what we're talking about here today is it's all the bureaucracy of spiritualism. It's the Catholics versus the CERNs versus the Obamas versus the whoever it is. And Vic is right. Sometimes you just got to lock yourself in a dark room, lay there and just meditate and say, this is ridiculous.
Well, we're humans.
Yes.
We're prone to sin.
That's right.
First time. It's going to happen.
Yes.
And I promise you one thing, the more you try to dive into or lean into your faith or something of a Christian perspective, you will be attacked even more.
Yes.
It's happened
but
in my
you can
entire
also
life, and unfortunately I don't think it's going to stop for anybody.
Yeah.
And it's going to get, things in this country are changing. Did you know that Biden hosted a huge Muslim celebration at the White House? He had an imam come in from a mosque and give a prayer. He got up and he gave a speech. I mean, things in this country are definitely changing. We know that Obama brought the Muslim Brotherhood into the White House.
Yes.
And we know they're trying to not to say that there aren't good Muslims by any means. The majority are good, but they are trying to squeeze Christianity out of our country.
Yes, they're doing it. But you know what?
And Trump was trying to bring it back.
Yes,
and by the way, real quick, I just want to say thank you for hanging with us today on the Switzerland, what's going on in Switzerland subject. And we'll continue to follow that.
And why
as
this is
time
so
goes
long
on.
is this is important because this is not conspiratorial talk. These are reported things that we're talking about. This is things that you can go and touch and feel. This isn't open to debate. The only thing open up to debate is what's going on behind the walls over there. No one's going to tell you. No one is going to come rushing out saying, we just found dimension 1615387 and we had a discussion with beings on the other side. They're not going to do that.
There are people who try to tell. What happens to them, I don't know. I think we know what could potentially happen, what can happen to whistleblowers. But a lot of it, Eric, is there are people who tell, but no one believes them.
Yeah.
There are people like Vic
I believe them
that said that they're talking to entities, but I'll tell you what, who's going to believe that? Most people won't even believe it.
Yeah,
well, if they admit it, you have to believe it.
Yeah, exactly. But people still choose not to, Vic. Our brains cannot wrap our heads around.
Bingo.
That's what it's like a psychological thing, just like aliens.
Dude, yes.
If right now, if the Pentagon had a press conference and they said, we've talked to extraterrestrials, we've been talking to them most of the people still wouldn't believe it. Your brain can't wrap itself around it.
Yes, it can. Actually, I think that like I always talk about on this show, I think that we are mice trying to explain what an airplane is. You can see the airplane, but you have no clue what it is.
We don't. We can only speculate.
Even if you could somehow get into the consciousness of a rat, and the rat goes, oh, you get in it and it flies. You could never train said rat to fly said plane. I think that our brains are ridiculously infinitesimal. We're stupid.
What did you say? That was
infinitesimal.
I love that word.
That means he uses that word a lot.
We are
infinitesimal.
We are silly little human beings floating around in this galaxy that's floating around in the universe, that's floating around in infinity, that's floating. We don't even know how to ask the right questions about the questions we want to ask. It's so the beauty of the human existence is this. Like Vic just said, you don't have to worry about that crap. All you have to know is God is going to be there. He loves you. He's going to wrap his arms around you. And no matter what you do, you can run back to him and he's going to go, you're a dumb little human being.
Well, I hope he wins the election for us in 2024.
No, that's not up to him. That's not up to him.
It's really not.
That's not his deal.
And why should we want God to help us if we as a country have turned our back on him?
And if the people that say, if people that say like what Tabitha just said, These are TikTokers that don't give a damn about God, that are going to pull the lever for who they want to pull the lever for. They're not talking these sites. They're on TikTok. They're on video games. They're being desensitized by media. They are millennials. They're Gen Zers, excuse me. And they're not having these discussions. They're not. They are more interested in social matters than they are as things that we're talking about. They don't understand what's going on.
And a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, obviously culture has changed. People are changing. The things we do change. Our habits are changing. People are less, I think, some less religious than what they once were. I consider myself a Christian, a deeply religious person, even if I don't attend church on Sundays. But at the same time, we have to solve some problems on our own. We have to have our faith, and we have to allow our faith to guide us. But the problems we have here on earth, we have to actually act out and do something ourselves.
And it comes a time. Look, there's two teams. There's the Cubs and there's the Cardinals. You're on the Cardinals, and the Democrats are the Cubs. But there comes a time when man versus man, one team wins over the other.
That means the Cubs are bad for people who are outside of the St. Louis area or don't know sports like that.
That's right. They're horrible. As a matter of fact,
the Cubs are bad.
I actually have a video of Chip Carey, the new Cardinal announcer, saying the Cubs suck. And
I think
that's awesome.
Cardinals haven't been so great
and his dad
lately.
used to be the announcer of the Cubs. But anyway,
you met him the other day.
I
right?
did. He's
that's
nicest
really
guy
cool.
on the planet. And he has. I will never play it because I will never.
No, that's right. And he
get him in trouble.
and he had a tough job being the St. Louis Cardinals play-by-play guy, following Dan McLaughlin after so many years, because Dan is an icon.
Yes.
And Chip certainly had his work cut out for him.
Yeah.
And he's doing a pretty good job now.
But he is a Cardinal fan now. And his dad
he grew up in St. Louis.
I get you, babe, but his dad was also the announcer of the Cubs for multiple. Anyway, that's a whole new other story.
Trying to fill Dan's shoes is very difficult.
No, I
very, very difficult.
I know. The Cardinals. Anyway, back to CERN. You are in one team or the other, and Tabitha, I know you think that there's going to be this holy uprising on 2024, and they're going to ding dong, the witch is dead, Trump right back into the White House.
I don't think she thinks that. I think she's
Why
afraid.
would you even say something like that?
That's what we want.
That is never going to happen. Trump is not going to win.
Sometimes in life,
a Republican is not going to win.
Sometimes in life, one team outdoes the other team. And the Democrats right now
outdo us every time.
The Democrats right now are the New England Patriots of politics, and the Republicans right now are the Jacksonville Jaguars of the Francis Howell Vikings of Republicans. I mean,
it is
they're
interesting
horrible.
You just brought that up, Tabitha. If you were, and hey, this is a free for all Friday. You don't think a Republican will win 2024 for presidency, right?
Absolutely, 100% not.
Eric,
never will that happen.
Eric
just doesn't listen to me.
Eric,
did you record that?
Eric, I say that every day.
Record me. I don't think a Republican's going to win either.
Wow.
There's going to be cheating again.
I don't trust the whole system.
You act like this is like a new revelation.
I don't, Eric. I mean, crazy.
I don't trust. I hate it.
You know what? I cannot go against Vic. I can't go against Vic because Vic is already.
Tab.
I mean, logic would say that Governor Newsom would be out of a job right now.
Right. Logic would say that.
But Vic said, no, that's not going to happen. Newsom's there for the duration.
Eric,
they will never,
I agree with Tabitha.
Allow us, the people, to win. That's what it is. It's not about Trump. It's about us, the people. They will never allow us, the people, to win, because you know what? We are not the people that stand in their way. I mean, we are the people that stand in their way. They only make laws for the folks to lay down and let them.
You know who sounds not now? He sounds like he sounds like Stephen Hawking is on camera, but Kennedy, this presidential candidate, he is super blue collar, super his uncle.
Yeah.
And he sounds super logical.
Old school Democrat
who has no voice. If this guy had the energy in his talking skills, he would be a formidable candidate.
The Democrats would not allow him.
They will never allow him. That would be great.
Tabitha
I'd get behind him
all the time. Bernie Sanders should have had the nomination.
Correct. They stole it from
not
Bernie.
Hillary Clinton.
And I don't think you could have controlled Bernie.
That.
You couldn't have controlled Bernie like a puppet, though.
No.
Obama would have no interest in going to the White House.
No.
Right?
Exactly.
So if Bernie's in there, it's like, I'm going to go over to the White House and talk to Bernie, and we're going to get this new world thing going.
Well, Bernie in the end did win because it's all of his policies that are now being followed. Think about that.
And I tell you what, those guys hit the perfect storm, right? With Joe Biden, no cognitive skills whatsoever. He's completely an Obama university
Well,
guy.
He's a puppet. He doesn't need skills.
He has the entire strength of the FBI, CIA behind him. He's weaponized the government against people.
And they know he has no morals, and he can be easily swayed.
And that's what he does. He sits in his basement.
It makes you wonder out loud, do they have the election committees on their side as well in all these states?
It makes you wonder out loud. I think we already know.
I don't. No, I'm not as cynical as you.
They have everyone under their little thumb. That's not cynical. It's
it is cynical.
Reality.
Lizzie, is that cynical?
It's reality.
That's cynical, isn't it?
It hurts my heart for sure that Tab is saying that. I'm not saying she's wrong. I want to not think like that, not because she isn't right, but because, like you, Eric, that's hard to sit in it day in and day out, thinking we've already lost.
Well, you guys have just predicted the Super Bowl like 18 months in advance.
Yeah, I did.
We haven't heard one debate.
I'm with Tabitha. I know.
But it's just like Terry saying in the chat line, we cannot throw in the towel to the evil. We've got to keep fighting.
Well, if you think the Democrats are going to win, why not throw in the towel?
No, because you continue. You have to know that you did everything that you could.
You can't let them think that you're going to stand down and take it. We have to fight with every single thing we have. We can.
It's like the people that think Steve Perry's coming back to Journey, but we all know he's not. We're not going to throw in the towel.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
It would be awesome, but it's never going to happen.
One final time.
It's never going to happen. Maybe when they're on their deathbed over at Del Mar Gardens, they'll do a karaoke night or something like that.
Well, it's because we're no different.
They should
than
open
other
up for
countries.
PRL this week. Where's PRL this week?
At Helen Fitzgerald's.
Oh, you guys packed that place in there, man.
We do. Come on over.
Saturday night. PRL Saturday night. Helen Fitzgerald's in the St. Louis area.
Yes,
right there on Lindbergh.
Mm-hmm. We'll have a little Bible study before.
You pray for everybody's soul before you start singing.
Oh, Lisa said Steve lost his voice.
No, he didn't. He did, but it's look, it would be like a bunch of statues up on stage, like a throwback to the old days. I would go see that. I would, even if he couldn't hit the super high notes that he did on Journey, Captured back in 1980. I'd still go see it. Wouldn't you?
Just some incredible song. I know.
It's actually this week, not to shift too much gears, but it's
Friday. We can talk whatever the hell we want.
It's still amazing to me that the old guys that can barely walk on stage are the ones getting the high ticket sales at concerts.
You know
and
what?
The new music,
Can we talk music when we come back?
They're barely able to play at the pageant in St. Louis.
We'll take it. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get our advertisers in. Please check them out. Let them know if you get their products. You heard about them on Cancel This. If you have ideas for other advertisers, let us know. If you're interested in joining the sales team, let Lizzie know. And if you're making donations, we're grateful for that as well. We'll take a quick break. Tabitha, Eric, Lizzie, Joe, and I'm Vic back with more. I want to talk about that music thing coming right back.
All right.
And now it's here, the unveiling of the latest Carroll House lifestyle collections. I'm Brooke with my sister Amy, inviting you to see 3 football fields of the latest styles.
Our new lifestyle collections are premium quality furniture made exclusively for us and available only at Carroll House.
The attention to detail is unmatched, and so is the value, nearly half the price of a typical gallery store.
Plus, get free financing, delivery, and in-home design. Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Marco, wait. What? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Sparks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Kathy O. Big Strick, owner of Experience Real Estate Partners with eXp, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7653, or find her online at experience-re.com.
As all of you may know, the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar, Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
Winties in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Winties in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road. Hey guys, welcome back. It's cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Tabitha Hassel, Eric Johnson, Lizzie Sparks. It's a free-for-all Friday. Paranormal, conspiracy theory, everything goes Friday. We had a remarkable discussion on Switzerland and everything that's involved there a little bit earlier in the show. Please share the show. Pass it on. Like, subscribe, let people know. I thought it was a great talk, and that's what we do. We've got a couple things coming up on these Fridays. I'm debating whether we do the flat Earth stuff anymore.
Oh, we have to. We have to.
Come on, guys. I've been watching and listening to a alleged time traveler as well, and my time traveler source says as many crazy, wild things that are going on in the world, like CERN, like evil in Switzerland, he has assured me that there is no such thing as flat Earth.
And there's not.
So I'm going to assure you right now.
It's interesting to talk about.
It's interesting. You're not talking about flat Earth. You're talking about the dumbass people that think there's a flat Earth.
You mean Vic?
I never said I believed it. I just said there was some
getting there. You were getting there.
Enough. You have to study.
I know.
No, you don't.
I know.
Sometimes you don't have to study. Sometimes you're just smart enough to go, I'm done with this.
You were almost there, Vic. Almost there.
Hey, Eric, did you know that there's no such thing as a South Detroit? Just a city, boy.
There is too.
No such thing as a South Detroit.
Is
I'm going
that
to blow
right?
your mind with Journey, since you brought up Journey.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait a minute, what are the words?
When Steve,
Just a
born
city
and
girl.
raised in South Detroit.
Is that it? I never knew that. Okay, we do that song
He
every
took
night,
the
and I never knew.
midnight-
There's no midnight train either.
There's no
There
midnight
was.
train.
Yeah, there is. There's a
I'm
midnight
just
train
kidding.
somewhere.
I'm just
It's a
kidding.
subway,
I have
but
no
it's
idea.
kind of a train.
I'm guessing he just found words that rhyme.
Yeah, he did. Steve Perry, because I learned this when I was in Detroit. I worked in Detroit for 11 years. Loved it. Michigan is an amazing state. Detroit blows St. Louis out of the water. Maybe someday St. Louis can be more like Detroit. Okay. He said that nothing rhymed, or it didn't, like east and west, which are is east and west Detroit.
Uh-huh.
It didn't sound
Did you
good.
know that the word news comes from north, south, east, and west? It comes
No.
from the compass.
No.
Yeah, that's where news comes from. North, south, east, and west.
Love this show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the
So he
truth
was
of-
sitting in his hotel room,
Uh-huh.
and he in South Detroit to him sounded better. So South Detroit ended up being the word.
Like
Born
so
and
many
raised in
songs.
South Detroit
Okay.
because of it being smoother.
Yeah.
And now you know.
Now
Casey
you
Kasem
know. Yeah, there you
with
go.
your top 40 information.
Yeah. That Journey is one of the fascinating bands of all time. Everything they wrote was a hit after, I guess it would be, what album was the big one? I can't
North,
remember.
South, East, West.
Yeah.
That is,
And
you'd
they
have
made
to
a
go North, South, East, or East, West. You have to
Uh-huh.
go backwards.
Yeah.
Right.
North, South, East, West.
And there's the news.
Journey made a really good Atari game. I still have it.
What?
There is a Journey Atari game.
What do you mean a Journey Atari game?
It's called Journey. It plays Journey music, and it's the Journey Atari game.
Where do you have this?
I have it at home.
I don't have it anymore, but my husband used to play that.
That was
back in
it was
the
a
day.
really good game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're on NPR all of a sudden.
But make sure your voice
And I'm
is
not
like this.
And
real
it must be
Eric,
popular
so
because
great.
so many
But
people
Eric,
have it.
I started that up because you have all these interesting musical facts, and music connects all of us.
Yeah.
Whether you like country, whether you like rock, classic, EDM, whatever.
Yeah.
What are some?
Look at the big tours.
We need some insight.
Back in the day, if a band came up and they got popular fast because of radio, usually you wanted to see them, and they would go from they would go to Mississippi Nights first, usually here in St. Louis, and then after Mississippi Nights, if they did good, if they had 2 hits, the next time you saw them, they were playing in the arena, and that would be considered a new band, and you would pay a lot of money to go see these new bands, quote unquote. These days, you can't get big enough. There's no new music that really gets you to all the old bands are selling out the amphitheaters all summer long. You ever think about that? REO Speedwagon,
Because
Styx,
that's the best music. They don't make good music anymore.
Van Halen when Eddie was still alive. Journey, if they were to, even when Journey with this new Filipino kid, they sell out all over. But if if
that's racist,
I'm just kidding.
If
That's not
Steve
racist.
Perry came back, they could literally sell out Busch Stadium for 3 nights, I would imagine, even if Steve couldn't sing at all. And I think that's just a testimonial.
but it's also kind of for the baby boomer generation.
Not really. No. When you come to a PRL
that's the
show,
largest population.
I get
demo right now too.
I get it, but when you come to a PRL show, we do all that old garbage. You still see the Gen Zers in the front of the stage singing every single one of the Queen songs. They're singing every single one of the Journey songs. They're singing every one of the Billy Idol songs that we do. And it's fascinating to me. I'm almost wanting to say, guys, go find some new music. For the love of God, find something that's good. And the reason I bring this up, in 20 years, you will forget about all of this era's music today that's happening. You will not have stadium shows on 2023 artists.
No, AI is going to take over music,
I know.
Eric. I'm still trying to
It's
figure out
nuts.
the AI aspect of music, and computer generation, and who is going to be putting that music together. I mean, damn, I could program something and say, I need this for music. I want this kind of beat.
Yes, 40 years later, Kiss is still selling out stadiums. 40 years later, Aerosmith on their final tour, because they can't walk anymore, is going to be selling out their tickets across, Metro Tix. It's going to be, but you can't get new artists. Maybe Lizzo can go to the arena and sell out. But in 10 years, are the kids going to like Lizzo still? No.
No.
And
in
there'll be
100
you see what I mean?
more Lizzos.
In the Police, they were begging for the Police to come back and do concerts. Remember that? If the Police came back, they could write their own ticket in any venue they wanted. This era of music is like a big disposable lighter. Oh, it's gone. Whatever. You throw it away and you get another disposable lighter. The era of Journey with Steve Perry, they were like Zippos. You nurtured them. You wiped them down. You put the lighter fluid in it. You made it an heirloom, right? Well, that's what I'm so missing about modern music, is there's nothing that's going to be classic in 20 years. It will still be Lynyrd Skynyrd on the classic radio stations.
True. We won't be
It's crazy.
any of the music
Eric,
10 years
I heard
from now.
one of the best things I've ever heard. It was a mashup. And this is what modern technology gives us. It was a mashup of one of the greatest songs ever made, House of Pain's Jump Around. You know what song I'm talking about?
I do, kind of.
That song is freaking amazing.
Oh, everybody! I remember that
you
was
gotta
like
go
the
wash
biggest
your
song
brain.
ever.
You gotta go scrub
a
it between your
mashup
ears.
of House of Pain and also
I remember. I know
Biggie.
exactly what you're talking about.
Biggie, can't you
Yeah.
see? It was a mashup between those two songs.
I would say that.
Back
And
in
it was
my
one-
day, that
it was one of the
song.
greatest mashup musical things I've ever seen, and technology allows us to do that.
Yeah. Oh, no. I see what you're saying. The computer stuff.
Yes, and it also saves those songs as well. Love it was amazing.
I just, if ABBA came back, one of
Tabitha.
I would be extremely happy.
One of Tabitha's favorite bands, ABBA, if they came back, you would not be able to get a ticket after 2 minutes of it being on sale, because that is, and you know what I think it's testament to? Human beings, we're human. We like other human being things that are authentic and original. I think, and I'm just speculating now, that humans want to hear humans playing instruments. Humans want the experience of Steely Dan being on stage with no computers. They want the experience. And I know EDM got really big there for a while, and it is big.
Oh, it's big still.
But it's still it's fake. It's like
it's a change of pace.
It's fake, you know? I think
everything's fake now. Isn't all music fake now? Isn't it all fake?
No.
Do you think Britney Spears is really a good singer?
No.
Or is it auto-tune?
No, but she's in that era that I'm talking about. She's in that kind of era that I think
is there anyone who just sings themselves anymore?
That without a computer?
Their voice without a computer. A real natural talent.
Yeah, I mean,
does that exist?
Not pop music.
I mean, outside of what you see live when you're going to your local bar establishment.
Not pop music, maybe country, but even country, I think they're using computers.
And Eric,
Eric
is a music star, was shooting star, and now platinum rock legend.
No.
Even, do you still participate in the Metal Studs band as well?
Oh, yes, I do.
Which is my favorite. I love platinum rock legends, but I absolutely love Metal Studs.
Oh my God.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. It's like
Eric, I need a fun fact from a popular musician before we leave today.
What's that?
I need something, like some sort of nugget. Like I was bringing up the fact that there's no such thing as South Detroit, but Steve Perry wrote South Detroit because this is kind of like the story behind the story.
Well, anything that I know, I guarantee you, everybody on the Facebook line knows. And
maybe not.
Leonard Skinner was the name of their high school gym coach.
That's awesome. Had no idea.
There's no Pink Floyd.
Tabitha didn't know that.
There's no Pink Floyd in Pink Floyd. There's no Pink.
Steely Dan was named after a masturbation device.
Oh,
what? Explain.
Oh, that makes sense.
It was named after one of their mom's dildos.
That's pro Joe.
That.
He'll be here all day. Don't forget to tip your bartenders and
Come
waitresses.
on and meet him.
It is a free for all Friday show.
Led Zeppelin, they got their name because somebody said that band will go over like a Led Zeppelin.
I think I might have heard that, but that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Eric, this is good stuff.
Not really.
Yeah, it is. That's 4 or 5, just like that. Boom, boom, boom.
ABBA sold more albums than I think Michael Jackson did.
Oh my God.
ABBA used to be one of the biggest bands in the world, Tabitha.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah.
My grandpa used to go around on his boat, or my uncle listening to ABBA.
Mm-hmm.
He liked that. Did you see that? Just sitting around, smoking his cigarette, going real fast to ABBA.
I can see it.
I can see it in my
I
head.
can see it.
Yeah. Aquanet's hair day. I almost said Aquanet's hair day. Of course, their heyday was in the 80s, and more guys used Aquanet than girls did.
Yeah, I think I did know that.
I'm trying to think of something.
And you helped with that too.
Yes, I did. There was a whole routine to get that thing as high as you could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know a lot of men that did that.
Were you the one that told me about Kip Winger, the lead singer of Winger? Did you tell me something about him?
Kip?
Yeah, because I know you knew Kip Winger.
He's just, yeah. Well, we did some shows with Kip and those guys. He's an actual classical musician.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
His passion is doing classical composition.
That was awesome.
Which I think is cool.
You would have been my hero back in the day, by the way, because I loved it. You would have. You personally. I loved
He's still my hero.
I'm a bass player. There's no such thing.
Yeah. Who is Motley Crue's bass player again?
Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, I love Nikki Sixx.
Yeah.
I like the bass players.
Yeah. I think Vic would have fit in at the on the strip in Los Angeles. Holy crap. Now that I think about it, think about how your life might have changed.
Yeah, your life could be totally different.
Oh, my life has been, it's been decent.
You know what my problem?
It's not over for you yet. You're still young.
You know my problem is I missed everything just by a little bit. Like when I was in LA, I missed the hair band thing getting big in an original band because grunge came and blew everything out of the water.
Which was the best music.
Yeah. And then I moved to Seattle and grunge was starting to wane. I was like, damn, I can't, there's nowhere else for me to go. I'm not going to Nashville because I hate country.
But that was Kid Rock. Kid Rock was a rapper. But Vanilla Ice beat him. He was in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Kid Rock was like, he's going to be the rapper. And then this Vanilla Ice softer version of him shows up on the scene, ruins it for white rappers. And he had to reinvent himself, which brought him into his hard side. But he's super, super, super talented.
Yeah.
I went to his 40th birthday concert in Detroit several years ago. And he made sure to show everybody he could play every instrument or do every single thing that everybody in his band could do. But he had to change himself too, Eric.
He did.
Because he said Vanilla Ice ruined it. Nobody would take him serious.
Right. I'm telling you what, Kid Rock is a talented dude. He's surrounded with some talented people too. And he is the voice.
I love Kid Rock.
He's the voice of this anti-woke protesting stuff that's going on.
He sure is.
Oh, Eric,
we
what
need
about
him
this?
on the show.
We do.
We'll try. Joe said, I didn't know that, Vic. Yeah, Paul says Godsmack song Crying Like a Bitch was about Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, Motley Crue back in the day had a bad reputation for trying to fight everybody. They did. Every time you would hear about them on the road, it's like, oh, did you hear about Nikki Sixx? Did you hear about Tommy Lee? They just had a bad rep about just thinking that they were the cat's meow in the rock industry. It's like, you guys you talk about karma. Man, that band is reaping what they sowed big time. Vince Neil's a fat, overweight guy that can't sing anymore. The guitar player Mick Mars is suing him because he can't walk anymore, and they're not feeding him any money. It's like, my God.
And now they all dress like old grandmas.
Karma hit them hard.
It was only a matter
They
of time.
all look like women these days.
Garth Brooks came out yesterday and said he once showered with Steven Tyler, but I'm not sure in what perspective that was.
Well, it's probably.
I immediately thought about you, David.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler seriously looks like somebody's grandmother.
He sure does.
You know what was
He
weird
does.
is back in the 80s, Vic, and this is why I would go to you. It was so decadent that there was competitions between bands to see who could destroy more stuff and to be as rude and crude as possible, to throw couches out of windows of hotels or to have the story of blah, blah, blah. And then it transitioned into what we have today, which is the most polite rock stars ever. They go into the hotel and yes, sir, no, sir. It's these Gen Zs. They are so super polite. They would never dare having a groupie back up. I mean, it's crazy how polite the Gen Z rock stars are now.
This is Cancel This, by the way. It was a Friday. We were finishing up our podcast and we just kind of let it go where it was going. It just kind of happened to go there. Tabitha, do you know another band besides?
Music is not Tabitha's jam. That's okay.
You know what? I am too busy to listen to music. If I'm in my car, that means I'm on the phone trying to catch up to phone calls. I have zero time for music. But on the rare occasion, I do like. If I could choose a favorite night, it would be to go to my favorite place, Hurricanes, over in Collinsville, and listen to the jukebox. And trust me, I have a really good playlist.
What is it? What's on it? What's on it? What's on it?
Still
mostly
works?
80s and 90s
What's
stuff.
on it?
Mostly 80s and 90s stuff.
If you could have one song on your
There's no Michael Jackson or Prince.
If you could have one song on your
Britney
island, what would it be?
Spears.
What one song? You have 5 seconds. Pick a song. Go.
What would that be?
One of my favorite songs that I play all the time is a song called Self-Esteem. It's one of my absolute favorite songs.
Okay, look it up. I've never heard it, but that's not.
Do you know who it is, or do you just hear the song and like it?
No. I always play Better Than Ezra. I love Better Than Ezra.
Oh, there we go.
I love all of that.
So
it is
good.
nuts.
Okay,
And I love the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. I play all of those songs.
Okay, well, now you're messing with my thing. What would be your one song? You have one song for eternity that you're going to be on this island.
Eternity.
And it changes weekly, but right now it would be the song by Ozzy Osbourne and Post Malone about I think it's called "Give Me What You Want."
Okay.
I have never even heard that
song.
I
didn't even
love
know it
that
existed.
song. I jam it really loud.
Okay.
Drinking by the pool.
My sisters would have been. My sisters was Kid Rock Bout It About that. Whatever she was going through, she turned that on. Boom, she was a different person. Vic, what would yours be?
I don't know if there is one.
Just you got 1 second, or else you got no music on the island. Go.
I'm like, we're gonna go something because I'm so moody with music. I'll go something Blink-182 or Angels and Airwaves.
There you go.
I love Blink-182.
And it all sounds the same. So
mine would be We Are Family or Shaka Khan. I Feel For You.
Seriously, I could see that about you, Eric. I could see
he's
that.
effing with us.
I'm not effing with
Yeah,
you.
I don't think he is effing with
Those
you.
are some happy ass songs.
That's
Makes you
Shaka
feel
Khan.
good.
That was a fun song back in the day.
That was good. Shaka Khan.
It had everything.
Shaka
It had modulation. It was major over minor. It was written by Prince. It's a good song.
That was some good music.
People want an Ask Eric segment about music.
I don't know much. I'm just a
Cindy
spectator.
has a quiz for you that she would like to send over at some point and see if you'll answer it. So I think that's a good idea.
I mean, you guys know as much as the music industry as I do. Well, not Tabitha, but the rest of you guys.
I don't. So you got me on that one.
That's awesome. Okay, guys, we appreciate you jumping in with us. Eric, did you break dance?
Hell no, but my brother does, and it's embarrassing.
He still does it?
So embarrassing. It's like you're going to get scars on your back.
What came first, the robot dancing or break dancing?
I think breakdancing. Was the OG. Yeah, that was definitely. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. That was very interesting to look at.
That all happened. Remember, me being from Chicago, I remember when rap first started. You guys didn't even have it here in St. Louis yet, and we had a state radio station there called BMX, and it used to be Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince back when Will Smith was actually a rapper and not an actor. And that's where it all started in the Chicago area.
I love it. Okay, what a great way to end. Guys, that does the podcast. Cancelthisshow.com. Friday, May 19th. We appreciate everybody joining us. Have an awesome weekend. You can go watch Eric and PRL at Helen Fitzgerald's in the St. Louis County area, kind of out south on Lindbergh.
Yeah.
Saturday night for those people in the St. Louis area. Wherever you're listening to in the country, we thank you. Thank you for supporting us and just being involved with the show. We're trying to get bigger and better every day.
And Aaron, I did have a flock of seagulls haircut, by the way.
I told him, yeah.
I'm telling you, I will bring a picture and I will be.
Please.
I can't wait to see that.
Was this when you had
This is the real deal flock of
had
seagulls.
the chain
No, that was before.
That was,
like where it feathers forward instead of back?
Kind of. It was like a faux mohawk. I can't explain it.
Oh, I can picture it in my head very well.
Aaron is smart. He's a smart guy on this line.
Yeah, he is. He's very smart. And he knows you, Eric. He knows.
Does he?
He knows. Yeah,
that's creepy.
Knows. Yeah.
Pro Joe, great job with lighting today. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Thank you.
Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hess, I'm Vic Faust. Have an awesome weekend, guys. We'll get back to business on Monday.